Your mother directed a music school at an orphanage in Siberia. How did her work and that atmosphere of service through art influence your decision to choose an instrument capable of singing with the expressiveness of the human voice?
This is exactly what happened because of the human voice, because I attended rehearsals and I was singing along with the choir of my mother. I was very influenced by singing, so I wanted to choose if to play an instrument, then I wanted to have a more singing instrument. And as the violin has more singing nature, it really appealed to me. At that time, even more than piano. Yeah, because piano has more percussive nature, and the violin is more singing. And yeah, this was the primary source of inspiration for me, to sing on the violin and to imitate human voice.
Okay, that's really nice. At the age of 16, following your victory at the Carl Flesch competition, you decided to take a pause to deepen your studies in harmony and theory. What internal motivations led you to feel that technical virtuosity alone was insufficient to achieve artistic fulfillment?
You see, everything musician does, and actually, we have the capacity to learn so many things, and music is multidimensional. And I think for me to play Tchaikovsky concerto or Brahms concerto, it's not only means to play the instrument and integrate your line together with the inside the orchestral texture, but it's actually to know as much as possible about the nature of the composition, thinking like the composer. And if you think like the composer, then it brings you to conducting. That's why I also studied conducting at the time, and wanted to expand always my horizons. So now when I play Tchaikovsky violin concerto, that I've been playing for maybe 1,000 times more, I don't know. I think every time is different because of my knowledge. This is not only natural, because you see, the knowledge will always will strengthen your approach to music, will enhance the music making together with musicians. So when I play today with musicians of the orchestra, I think they feel very much that I understand what they do. The conductor understands that I'm also conductor and I understand his language. It brings me closer to musicians that I work with, but also it naturally brings me closer to the music and possibly the initial idea of how these great works have been written. So every knowledge, when we get the knowledge in life, it always will impact the way we play and the way we interpret.
Okay, you are considered the legitimate heir of the school of Jascha Heifetz and the custodian of legendary instruments such as the Stradivarius Kreutzer and Heifetz bow. Beyond the material value, how do these historical objects shape your sound and your responsibility as a link in the great violin tradition?
It's a very good question, because I come from a very amazing school of Russian school, but actually it takes roots in the Franco-Belgium school of violin playing that goes back to actually the Kreutzer, who has invented the school. Among the disciples of the school were legendary violinists like Vieuxtemps, Eugène Ysaÿe, Enescu, and Yasha Hafiz that you just mentioned. And one of my teachers, the first teacher, came from that school. And this is a very special technique that derives from the singing approach to the instrument, connections of the note between the notes, music between the notes, legatissimo that takes source in the singing from Italian. So from Italy to France, then Franco-Belgium. That's how how the school has been conceived. And throughout the century, this is the greatest school that exists so far. And I'm very, very happy to be, as you said, one of the heirs to the disciples of this legendary greatest tradition.
Okay. You maintain that a concert begins before the first note is played. How do you cultivate your own introspection and presence to establish that magnetism and rapport with the audience from the moment you step on the stage?
Yeah, I think the concert actually begins even before instrumentalist or musician starts playing, because there is an atmosphere, from the way he or she enters stage, that is very vital, to have this connection. This is the same as, you walk into a room with full of people and you greet them. And you make this connection before actually the first sound is made. And this is very vital. If this connection is not made, then there is a buffer between the soloist and the audience, and there shouldn't be one. So the closer I could bring the audience to me, the better I can communicate the message of the music and of the composer, of the work that I'm transmitting to the audience.
Okay. What are your most enduring memories of your relationship with Rostropovich, both as a mentor and as a personal inspiration?
Rostropovich comes from the greatest tradition of cello school in Russia and also France. Again, this is a French-Russian school, and when I met him, first of all, he was connecting to me as an instrumentalist, that we spoke the same language, and he has taught me, actually this mentorship was very important for me. First of all, as an instrumentalist, it has developed new colors in my playing, and as a second very important point, there was that he had this incredible relationship with different composers, his friends, as he called them, such as Shostakovich, Prokofiev, Britten, and so many other wonderful composers that he collaborated directly with. And this collaboration with Rostropovich, for me, was a very important step in building my own rapport and relationship to music, especially to the music of the 20th century. And if I didn't know Rostropovich, I wouldn't know as well as I do now the works by Shostakovich and Prokofiev, the tradition.
Yes. Well, you have often mentioned that an artist possesses a social responsibility that transcends performance. In what ways has your transition into orchestral conducting transformed or expanded your understanding of a musician's ethical responsibility toward both the score and society?
I think it's very important when we go on stage is to consider several factors. First of all, there are people sitting in front of you. You need to deliver the music. You need to make it understandable for people. And sometimes I play some works that may be unfamiliar to the audiences. So I have to be the best advocate for this music. First of all, if I have to believe in the music that I play. If I don't believe, then I will not be able to convince the audience, of course. But of course, as I said, my experiences as a soloist and as a conductor, as a teacher, and my social work helps me to communicate better with people. And music is most powerful tool of communication. It goes directly from mind to another people's minds, and from heart to heart. So the communication is done instantly, telepathically, through the medium of sound.
As the first classical musician to serve as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador, what personal impact did the experience of performing for children in extremely vulnerable contexts, such as during your visit to Kosovo or Thailand, leave upon you?
Yeah, this was a very important phase for me, and I still travel as a UNICEF ambassador around the world, doing some regular projects for them to raise awareness and funds about the children's programs all over the world that UNICEF does. It comes from my own childhood, this tradition. My mother was a great social worker. As you know, she has been for some years the director of the school in the orphanage for kids, and she created a choir, a music school within the orphanage, and I've seen with my own eyes how music positively impacted these kids. It has given them a direction in life, has given them a focus. And these kids came from a very turbulent, difficult societies, but music has given them purpose. And I think, when I travel every time somewhere where music is not necessarily played on a regular basis, I connect with all people by the medium of sound without needing to talk. And this music is the greatest and one of the most powerful tools of communication.
Yes, I believe that so, obviously. Your career has been marked by the exploration of diverse fields, for example, Argentinian tango. How do you balance the discipline of classical violin with the vital necessity of exploring such distinct aesthetics outside of the academic tradition?
Of course, when I was when I became 30, I already could perform. I've learned so much repertoire. I became a conductor. I was serving as a teacher, and I traveled the world many times. And there was the next step for me to explore something else. So I decided to embark on the adventure, and I commissioned the work from a Russian composer Benjamin Yusupov, who has written a viola tango rock concerto. So in this piece, I had to explore all my dreams that I have not been able to accomplish during my life. And first of all, to play viola. Then secondly, to improvise on the 5-string rock violin in the rock style. And then in the end, to dance a 5-minute tango, which I've learned. I've taken a 3-month course in Paris with a tango couple. And then I arrived after that to Amsterdam. I met with a Brazilian tango dancer who studied and worked in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, and we have choreographed a tango which was in the style of semi-milonga, semi-show. And that was and this tango, I was really taken by the greatest traditions of tango, watching and listening to a lot of music. And so we have integrated the 5-minute performance of tango. And it was a very charming page in my life that I will always keep very dear to my heart.
What can you tell me about your upcoming show in Buenos Aires, coming back to Teatro Colón, your expectations, the public, you know, that reunion again? What can you tell me about that?
Teatro Colón is the legendary theater, one of the greatest theaters in the Italian theater, in the Italian style theater in the world. And for me, I performed a number of times there. I don't remember. Definitely more than 10, 15 throughout my life. And every time I come, there's a fantastic atmosphere, and I love the audience. And we're presenting a very serious, yet very diverse and most interesting recital program to the Buenos Aires audience. One of the highlights of the program is the Shostakovich Sonata. Shostakovich Sonata. We've just celebrated the centenary of the composer, and this year I'm playing this violin sonata. This violin sonata has been written by the greatest master already in his later years. So it's the latest opus of his that has a very philosophical aspect in music. And there is a darkness of his language, and with his minimalistic language and very few means, he explores most radical colors and sends the most powerful message to the audience through his music. So I'm very excited to present this sonata. It's one of the greatest creation of the 20th century for violin and piano, for this for the duet. So one of the greatest sonata has been ever written for this for the duet. I must also say a few words about Polina Osetinskaya, my wonderful partner, who will join me on this occasion. She's a fantastic player, soloist in her own right. So she's not coming just as an accompanist, but as an equal partner, especially in works like Shostakovich, Schubert, and Brahms, are the ones that we're presenting to the audience. And of course, to add something, you know, if there is always time for encores if the audience wishes. After series program, we wish to let go.
And we should expect surprises then.
Yes. we leave always time and space for surprises.
That's great.
For dessert, yes.
For dessert. Okay, thank you very much, Maxim. Just one last question. I don't want to bother you anymore. This is about in a global landscape where artist creation is increasingly influenced by artificial intelligence.
Yes.
What is your diagnosis regarding the future of music performed by human beings and the enduring value of emotional imperfection?
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on with your question, because we're living in very interesting times where the impact of AI, we actually underestimate the power of AI and what it will become in our daily life. It will transform us totally. This is not something new. This is already a fact, and we can't stop it. Of course, people are talking about the negative impact about AI, that it will wipe out up to 90% of all the professions. Because, you know, the AI can can do it more efficiently than human beings. Yet, some professions can never be replaced, where humans impacts of humans are indispensable, and this is music. And this is music, including a written music, and especially performing arts, because the AI can never replace human being, and this breathing in music, a momentum, this will be cherished. And I think music in 3-5 years will go up the ladder. The value of music will be cherished. There'll be robots, there'll be all AI, incredible new technologies replacing human beings, but nothing can replace performing artists.
I hope so too. Thank you very much for your time. Just a little greeting from Buenos Aires and an invitation to your concert if you want to leave us.
I'm very happy, my dear friends, to go to Teatro Colón, to a wonderful theater that I love so much, performing with a great partner of mine, Polina Osetinskaya, pianist. We're presenting a very exciting program consisting of works by Shostakovich, Schubert, and Brahms. I'm very excited coming to see you all very soon.
Thank you very much. We're hoping to see you too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.